this is Tommy John, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
You can put it on the board. Yes! Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. Today's show is brought to you by UppercutChops.com. Check out their tasty selection of all-natural, dry-aged USDA prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops. Wait till you try their best-in-class New York steaks, the filet mignon, of course, the king of all, those massive cowboy cut, tomahawk cut ribeyes. Best I've ever had, probably be the best you ever had as well. Even those half-pound Wagyu burgers, easily the best I've ever had. Again, probably be the best you ever had to. Check them out at UppercutChops.com. That's UppercutChops.com. Or give them a call and find out what's for dinner. 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935 for UppercutChops.com. All right, a big welcome in to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast, all of our independents. Everybody also watching on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Time Warner, and WOW Cable TV, plus Hotel TV in over 500,000 rooms from coast to coast and all those real nice upscale resorts and hotels. We're here with a very special guest talking about health and nutrition and doing the right thing for your body. We're going to let him introduce himself. Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Doug Walcon. And I am in Hawaii on the western island of Kauai, the Garden Island. We have a medicine farm that we grow 80 plus different plants, procure herbal medicine, plant medicine from lemongrass to Nioi chili peppers to the protein superfood moringa. Here, superfoods, teas, salves. We grow it all here on the island. And craft it here on our farm, 4-acre farm, and distribute it out via the internet, KauaiPharmacy.com, with my wife and I and about 20 others. All
right. A premature applause, but we'll give you another one just because we can. Hey, listen, folks, it's live. Anything could happen. All right, Doug, thanks for joining us today. And, of course, you see we have a little bit of aloha spirit here over on this side, right, for the Ohana, right? So we've got the Hawaiian flag. I've got this is the shirt, the Hinano shirt. So it's from 2,500 miles south of where you're at. But, again, let's face it. If you look at the Hawaiian Islands where you're at, the island of Kauai, it's, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth. And I wore this shirt in tribute to that because Kauai reminds me of French Polynesia. I mean, it's the closest thing that you can find to it in these United States of America. What a glorious place with healthy people and a healthy lifestyle. And thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Certainly, it was that lifestyle that brought us in. People ask, what made you move to Kauai? And I just turn to them and I just inevitably look at them and say, well, the waterfalls and the aloha, right? I mean, the amount of aloha here, and also just the alignment too. It's like the island itself really keeps your integrity in place. So, and the people here, it's one of those places where there's no hiding from yourself.
That's right. And frankly, the people that live there are supposed to be there. They're living a good life. Whether you're working hard physically or mentally, life is good, but you're there for a reason. And you left the big city back on the East Coast. Tell everybody 30 seconds in your story as to why you left the big city to go to Kauai.
I can't say it was, all that conscious, to be honest with you, but it was certainly a move I had to make at the time. My wife and I were ready for a change. I was doing private equity real estate out of Connecticut, outside of Wall Street, and my wife was doing industrial design, and we were ready for a change. Really wanted to take responsibility for our health and also be able to make choices and feel like there was ultimate sovereignty in our decisions. So certainly our medicine choices, our plant medicine choices, having access to superfoods and bone healing medicines and anti-inflammatory, roots, that's kind of what came to us as we moved through the process. And it was just about unwinding a lot of my experience for what was, my pretty intense Wall Street years. And so I wanted to just unwind that a little bit. And I'm still unwinding it 15 years later. But that's really the story I have. We've had 3 children. They're now 15, 12, and 10. It's been anything but storybook. I can tell you that, and I can glorify it all you want, but it's just not what you think it is. But it's been amazing. It's been an amazing awakening. So that's really what's been pushing it. And then just as we found the plants, each plant led to another plant, led to another teacher. And that's been an amazing, empowering experience as well.
So as you decided to maybe choose a healthier lifestyle, right? But I think that's pretty safe to say, isn't it? Right? You chose a healthier lifestyle, and you're trying to think of ways to do things from a naturopathic standpoint, right? Instead of taking synthetic meds or this or that, let's find something nature-wise that could help with inflammation or whatnot. And it led you to investigate all these different plants and herbs, etc. And I'm going to guess a lot of people try to go this method, but they can't do that because they're bombarded with, well, try this or try this, ask your doctor about this, and all this other garbage, all these other synthetic meds that cause a lot of problems. And why are we talking about this on a sports and entertainment show? Well, frankly, because there's a lot of, number one, there's a lot of professional athletes that not only watch the show, they participate in the show. They are a part of the show. And let's face it, no doping is allowed, right? So we have to have the right fixes for our bodies. And on top of it, even in the entertainment business, whether you're a musician or an actor or actress, whatever, director, producer, whatever, and all of those people want what? Healthy on camera and behind the scenes look, because it projects out from behind the camera to in front of the camera. Geez, look at that guy back there. Look at that woman back there. What's wrong with them? No, we want to say what's right with them. So we bring on somebody like you, Doug, to talk about the positive attributes of Kauai Pharmacy. And what's that web address again?
www.kauaipharmacy with an F, F-A-R-M-A-C-Y.com.
Okay, I'm going to take a excerpt here from your website. I'm going to read this to everybody just in case. This is for everybody that's listening on radio in case you can't see this. So this is from the website. It says Kauai Pharmacy is home to over 80 varieties of organic healing plant food or healing plants, food orchards, a team of extraordinary herbalists and gardeners, a close loop vermiculture feeding system, worm compost farm, honeybees, butterflies, and other pollinators, wildfowl, environmentally compatible farming, water catchment, etc., right? And medicine making systems as well, from solar dehydrators to low temperature, herb curing, herbal teas, tinctures, etc. So tell everybody about the depth of Kauai Pharmacy in case they think it was just some guy that decided to start planting some things. This is a big operation at this point, as far not big as in size, but complex as in scope.
Yeah, I mean, it roots in the ancient ways. This is African, Chinese, Indian, Western ways that have been thousands and thousands of years of training and experience. And so we have almost 20 people working here. I think I mentioned before, 6+ gardeners, 6 or 7 in the tea house, crafting and alchemizing the superfoods and teas, and then we have educators and people in fulfillment. Really what we're doing is we're curating the land, we're feeding back as much as we can in this relatively closed loop system. It's certainly locally fertilized, all organic. And really the idea is to harmonize and allow for us to curate the colors of the rainbow, because these vitamins and nutrients aren't really accessible to us today. When you go into the store and whether it's Whole Foods or your local farmers markets, there's levels of vitality that you can access, and accessing the highest level of vitality is what all of us are looking for, right? We're looking to live a full life, right? And how do we do that? Well, we experience, the oranges, the purples, the greens, the yellows. That's what Kauai Pharmacy is about. We curate these colors. We curate these vitamins and minerals, the magnesium, the potassium, the phosphorus. And then our bones, they don't just become strong, they become supple in the process. They mimic the roots, they mimic the leaves, and we curate and replicate the energy that the symbiotic life that's in the gardens, we then sell through our website. And allowing us to utilize these teas, like I said, ancient medicines. They're just simple teas, but the teas themselves are super fresh, cured at low temperatures, and then the garden is grown in the medicine, and that's the difference.
Okay, so when we come back from break, I want to talk a little bit more about these products individually, because Kauai Pharmacy was nice enough to send a care package to the Sports Circus, and I've been using some of these, and we'll let you tell everybody about them as we bring them on camera, and we'll describe them for everybody listening in on radio. So folks, don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here with Doug Walcon, co-founder of Kauai Pharmacy. Check him out online. I believe it's KauaiPharmacy.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, KauaiPharmacy.com. Folks, don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here on the Sports Circus.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America, with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. Or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Could you use a little extra money right now? If you'd like to borrow up to $100,000 and get pre-approved in minutes, call the number we'll give you at the end of this commercial. Our lending partners have already loaned millions of dollars to individuals just like you, and we're ready to lend you up to $100,000 if you qualify. Even if your credit is not perfect, you could use the money to pay off high-interest credit cards, for home renovations, or consolidate existing debt. You can get flexible, easy-to-pay terms. The consultation to find out if you qualify is free. To find out if you qualify for our special financing program, call this toll-free number 24 hours a day. 800-335-1376. 800-335-1376. 800-335-1376. That's 800-335-1376. Important terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Loan amount, annual percentage rate, and term will vary depending on creditworthiness. Applying does not guarantee approval. Account approval is subject to verification and confirmation of your credit history and acceptance by a lender. If you choose to apply for a loan through us, a consumer report will be obtained to evaluate your creditworthiness in connection with your application for credit.
That's the sound of sizzling, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks from UppercutChops.com. Their best-in-class filet mignons, New York steaks, and the king of all steaks, the tomahawk and cowboy cut ribeyes are the best in the business. Even their Prime Wagyu burgers will likely be the best you've ever had. Browse the full selection of steaks and chops at UppercutChops.com from the comfort of your home or on your mobile device. UppercutChops.com delivers all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops directly to your door, without the hassle of going to the grocery store and fight crowds to pick from a small selection of average at best meats with injected steroids, fillers, and coloring added to look good. Find out what's for dinner at UppercutChops.com or call 702-799-9935. That's 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. Or make your selection directly at Uppercut Chops.
You're listening to the Sports Circus, and I'm Mike Golick.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm Roy Firestone. Now it's time to throw it back to Sal.
All right, Roy Firestone, thank you for throwing it back to me. I love that little audio clip there. Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from the Aloha Studios here in AMP TV land here in Las Vegas. In fact, I'm wearing the Aloha shirt for everybody that is watching on television. If not, imagine me wearing a really cool blue and white, actually it's a Tahiti Hinano shirt, really cool stuff. Nonetheless, same idea, right? Same ohana, if you will. And this segment is brought to you by Kauai Pharmacy. And here to tell you about Kauai Pharmacy in 30 seconds is their co-founder, and that would be Doug Walcon.
Aloha. We are on the Garden Island, the westernmost island in Hawaii, and we grow 80 plus different plant medicines. From lemongrass to turmeric to ginger to kava, comfrey, and the medicines are curated into teas and superfoods and salves to increase your flexibility and your strength, allow you to process and digest, and create more prosperity in your life. These medicines are brought in. They provide the colors of the rainbow in your diet, really provide a foundation of alkalinity so you can stay hydrated and increase your breath work and just become more aware of your life experience. That's what the medicines really are curated for.
Okay, and how can everybody find all the products from Kauai Pharmacy?
So certainly our farm is open 10 to 3 Monday through Friday. So jump on an airplane and come on over.
Yes.
Otherwise, we are www.Kauai Pharmacy, Kauai, Kauai Pharmacy, Pharmacy. So that's Kauai Pharmacy with an F.com. And we have all of our products there, superfood salves, teas, tinctures, honeys. And really the idea behind all the different SKUs or products is to integrate them into your life so that they're convenient. So, I mean, that's the thing with these, chips and potatoes and all these different foods that they've curated. These medicines that we've created here, plant medicines, we've made them as convenient as possible. We have salt and pepper that we grow, black pepper on the island of Kauai. They'll blow your mind what the real thing really tastes like and what it can do for you.
Okay, folks, that is KauaiPharmacy.com with an F, KauaiPharmacy.com. Make sure you check them out. And who knows, maybe you can send Doug your personal questions about health and nutrition, because this guy is the picture of health. And we'll get into those products in just a moment. We want to welcome everybody back listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates and independents from coast to coast, including our friends over in Honolulu on CBS Sports 1500 KHKA. That's home of the New York Yankees and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Welcome also into everybody that may be listening in Southern California on NBC News and CNBC Financial. Right here in Las Vegas, KJPT Jackpot Radio over in Auburn, Alabama. WAUD, home of the Atlanta Braves. Thanks for joining us also in Atlanta, Georgia. 99.1 FM, WDJY, WBGY, also down in South Florida in those beautiful communities of Marco Island and Naples. Boy, that's where life is really good. Outside of course, Kauai and a whole bunch of other places from coast to coast. Welcome also to everybody back on television on our Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Time Warner, and Wow Cable affiliates, and Hotel TV in over 500,000 rooms, gaining over 4 million impressions per hour. Yes, that actually outperforms most sports playoff games, let alone your big weekly games. Of course, we don't want to say the games and say the sport because somebody will try to give us a hard time about it, so get over yourselves. But nonetheless, we get lots of attention here, and we want to give some attention to guys like Doug and Kauai Pharmacy because they do a lot of good for a lot of people. And we think about daily use of even something as simple as spices. And Doug, I'm glad that you actually mentioned pepper, because a lot of people like to put pepper on their food, but they don't really know the product they're buying in the grocery store or those dollar type of stores, and the false product they're actually buying versus the real pepper. What is the real difference between pepper that you could buy in the grocery store from your average run-of-the-mill whatever company to Kauai Pharmacy's pepper?
So we just launched a salt and pepper product, and the black pepper is grown on a vine. The biggest difference is, Kauai soil, the freshness, the diversity of the gardens, the way we fertilize the gardens with local material. So when it gets to you, it's filled with vitality. And this is, black pepper. The Europeans were that's what they went to the Spice Islands for. Christopher Columbus traveled 18 months to get to the Spice Islands. They went with 350 men. They came back with 150 to 200 men. They lost half their crew 18 months later to find black pepper and cardamom and cacao. These were the Spice Island treasures. And what was happening in Europe at the time? Black Plague was happening in Europe. They were looking for cures. They were looking, and black pepper was the answer. So it's these spices that we've lost our ability and to integrate into our diet.
So for all those people that are geographically challenged and they don't know where the Spice Islands are or what you're even talking about, tell everybody.
So the Spice Islands is the zone Indonesia, right? South. Like the Indonesia zone, South India. This is where all those spices were curated originally, and they had spice forests, spice jungles. So what we've done here on Kauai is we've done our best to replicate those spice islands and recreate them. And so what is it that we have here? Things like cacao that the kings and the Europeans in Belgium have been curating and selling through those industries for hundreds of years. Here's the cacao honey that you're holding up.
Okay, folks, check this out.
Product here.
There,
so
let's
this
go
is just
ahead and
cacao, which is what they make chocolate out of, and honey that we grow here, or the bees curate here on Kauai for us. And this cacao is where magnesium, this is magnesium in its essence. So we're not extracting magnesium, which is really one of the true gold jewels of the garden is magnesium. And in this instance, this cacao honey is filled with magnesium. And that magnesium, what is it good for? It's good for everything. It's good for performance. It's good for, curation of circulation. It's good for digestion. And this is what, in the Ivory Coast, 90% of the world's cacao comes from the Ivory Coast of Africa, right? So that northwestern tip. Why? Because it's filled with magnesium. That land is filled with magnesium. And that's what they're after. But after hundreds of years of harvesting the cacao and exporting the magnesium. Is there any magnesium left in that cacao? So what we've done here is created a small boutique farm where we nourish the land, nourish the plants, and make sure the magnesium stays in the land. And then in our products like the cacao honey, we have a cacao elixir here, which is just cacao with 8 other different herbs. And just to give you this is the cacao bean. So the cacao bean, which is actually this is a seed that grows a cacao tree. And this is packed. And this is what we grind. This is packed with magnesium. And this is what we grind to make that cacao honey and this cacao elixir.
That's good stuff. All right, so the one thing I didn't get in the care package that you sent over were any of the cacao beans, right? So now I have a sweet tooth, and let me ask you this, and I want you to take 1 minute. Don't hold it in front of my face. That's not fair. So I want you to take 1 minute, because we only have a couple of minutes left in the segment, not even that. Take 1 minute max. Talk about what's in those cacao beans, I mean, from a nutritional standpoint, versus those who are diabetic and they can't have the sugary type of foods so they have to watch their blood sugar? Go ahead.
Yeah, so there is no sugar. You know, when people think of chocolate, they don't appreciate that there's two ingredients that make up chocolate: sugar and cacao. If the bar says 70%, typically it's 70% cacao and 30% sugar. That sugar, you know, somehow finds its way to us basically for free, is what you see in the packets and in the coffee shops. Sugar, you know, although it's a medicine, it's also, you know, how it gets to us. It's been adulterated for sure. I mean, it's adulterated. It who knows? I mean, why is it free, and how does it get packaged and processed and bleached? You know, that's what we have to be careful. And so if we can get access to cacao in its holistic form, we've now accessed a whole different level of nutrition.
That's good stuff. And you know what? We're going to wrap this segment up, come back with a little bit more. 'Cause, I mean, let's think about this. From a sugar standpoint, we think of holidays. We think of all the candies and the stuff, whether it's Christmas or Halloween or Easter or whatever it is. We think of all the sugar that's rammed down our throats. I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. The problem is I've got to watch my blood sugar like everybody else, but people don't give a damn because they're bombarded with ads on stuff that's really bad for you. But folks, we've got stuff that's actually really good for you, and especially you athletes out there, so you don't have these incredible highs and lows and your body breaking down, your muscles breaking down and everything, and your ligaments breaking down. Believe me, this is good stuff. You don't want to miss this one. Yes, it is nutrition, but it's also for sports and entertainment, as well as everybody else just like me. No longer an athlete, but I do cycle. Back here in just a few minutes with Doug Walcon, co-founder of Kauai Pharmacy. Check him out at KauaiPharmacy.com while we're on break. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come. I'm your Ringmaster Sal of the Sports Circus, a primetime, nationally syndicated television, radio, sports, and entertainment show. The Sports Circus covers topics others are too scared to talk about. There's no other primetime show like it on here that'll punch you in the face and you'll beg for more. Join me, Hall of Famers, world champions, and all-star celebrity guests for chaos and controversy here on Libsyn and all podcast platforms, plus thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
If you're tired of the fake news and tired of all the left-wing BS and agendas out there, if you want to do your right part to clean out the swamps and hit the lefties where it hurts, their pocketbook, we all know the president and his cronies hired thousands more IRS employees and agents. Now that's not very American. There's a way to fight back. Fellow conservatives out there, call American Tax Relief. They can help you pay less to the IRS. Don't you give a penny more to spend to the left-wing agendas. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes or haven't filed your taxes in years, call my friends at American Tax Relief. They'll give you a 100% free introduction to their program, and trust me, they're on the right side of your freedom. Pay the IRS less. Call now.
800-958-2157. 800-958-2157. That's 800-958-2157. Paid for by the Tax Doctor.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing and always need to stick your fingers to test your blood sugar. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. Apply a discrete sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger sticks. If you are living with type 1 or type 2 diabetes and you use insulin or have had hypoglycemic events, you might be eligible for a CGM through your insurance benefits. U.S. Med partners with over 500 private insurance companies and Medicare. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill your insurance. Call us today for a free benefits check.
800-659-7805. 800-659-7805. 800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
That's ridiculous.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Hey, this is Josie Scott from Josie Scott Saliva, and you're listening to the Sports Circus with Sal Tuzzolino.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the Aloha studio today. You can see with the Hawaiian flag, everybody watching on television. And of course, I got this glorious Hinano Tahiti t-shirt on, only because, actually it's not a t-shirt, but it's an Aloha shirt, because we have a very special guest. We're talking about nutrition, good stuff for you, right here on the Sports Circus with Kauai Pharmacy. Check them out at Kauai Pharmacy with an F, KauaiPharmacy.com. Make sure you check them out. I don't get nothing for saying this. Just make sure you check them out because this is really good stuff. Good for your body, good for your brain, obviously. It's good for the environment as well. By the way, folks, big welcome back to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates. Also, everybody on radio, all of our independents, everybody on TV, everybody on the Mars rover. You know who you are. And we are back here with Doug Walcon from Kauai Pharmacy, and he is actually the co-founder. And of course, Doug was telling us about some pretty good products. We talked about pepper. In this segment, I want to talk a little bit about something that you mentioned in the pregame huddle, so to say. Talk to me in the audience about the Comfrey salve.
So Comfrey is known as knitbone, KNIT-BONE, also known as the warrior plant or miracle plant. We use it for borders around all of our plant ecosystems. And these Comfrey plants, which we have thousands of comfrey plants here. We harvest the root and the leaf, and we curate that into hydrosols, which is a spray, a salve, which we alchemize with beeswax and coconut oil. And then we also have a root powder that we call Comfrey Cast. And the Comfrey Cast is for serious symptomatic breaks and sprains. So the Comfrey is a bone medicine that we have created and curated that allows for amazing bone, ligament, tendon, and muscle healing. It's also takes your bones, muscles, ligaments, and tendons, upgrades them all so that they create more suppleness. And so how do you do that? Well, the Comfrey infuses potassium, phosphorus, calcium into your system. As the Comfrey's infusing that, because it's a root that goes 10 feet deep. This bone medicine, as it infuses those epic minerals, those minerals are now calling in what those minerals want to survive. It's calling in incredible hydration, right? So lots of delicious, beautiful, hydrating water. It's calling in big hydrating fruits and vegetables. It's calling in lots of calm breath. And then it's calling in restoration, right? However we perceive restoration that works for us, whether it be workouts, whether it be stretching, whether it be just calm breath work and meditation.
So this is exactly what I was talking about, folks. This is exactly what I was talking about, folks, when it came to how this relates to athletes. Right? Think about professional sports, for example, or even the weekend warrior, the casual weekend warrior. The reality is having a good product that's good for your system all the way around is really what we're supposed to be doing. Not take this protein powder, that powder, this supplement, none of that crap. You really need to be focusing on what's good for your body and not all these additives and there's something with a ton of sugar in it, whatnot. This is a good product, not only for your body, also for your brain. Talk about some of the brain benefits. Now, and here's the reason I'm bringing this up. Because one of the people that's been on our show, one of our friends, a very close friend of the circus, is Dr. Kristen Wellemeyer. She wrote a book called Biohack Your Brain. Everything natural, all good stuff. And we think about all the bad additives and preservatives and everything that basically coats your pineal gland, everything that's bad for you is available in stores and on TV like everybody talks about. But people like yourself, Doug, and Kauai Pharmacy don't get all the extra TV attention. You know why? Because you're bad for the medicine business, the commercial medicine business, where they want to surgically do this surgery, that surgery, take this pill, take that pill, and say, okay, well, let's have a pill Band-Aid what the real issue is, rather than actually addressing the issue in the first place. Because what Kauai Pharmacy's products do is they actually address illnesses and really help enhance health instead of retard human health, right or wrong.
Correct. Comfrey's the best, is a brilliant example that you mentioned. Knitbone, Knitbone. To think that you walk into an orthopedics office or the hospital, or when you see these guys getting put on the stretcher and there's no bone medicine, right? It's seconds matter to get that calm breath. When you apply Comfrey after an injury to your body, the first thing you do is you take a big, deep breath. Do you know how revitalizing and healing a breath is when you go into physical trauma? So if you get hit coming over the middle, and you're trying to catch that ball coming over the middle, you get hit, and now you're in trauma, and there's no healing. All the inflammation is going right at wherever the trauma is, and it's all the Fritos and the Pepsi, all that stuff's just going in, and it's causing havoc. The Comfrey comes in. If you can get it on there literally in seconds, it should be on every sideline of every elementary school all the way up to the pros. Comfrey, Comfrey, bone medicine. Knitbone. It should be in all the hospitals. And the application of it, how critical it is to integrate it in immediately after any kind of trauma or injury. And in the Comfrey salve's case, it's a soothing application. We have a Comfrey cast, which is more potent. It's just pure root that we harvest, and that you create and then we have an oil or a serum, which also integrates the noni. Noni is the circulation medicine. So the combination, it's like yin and yang, the Comfrey and the noni. It just gives it, both the infusion of potassium, calcium, phosphorus with the noni, which is all about circulation and magnetism. And the two combined to really get the body calm, because having that calm breath and then having the awareness, you talk about the mind, right? So the awareness to then what? Why did something crack? Why did something break? You don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure it out. It's dry. It's dry. That's why it cracks, right? So water, hydration. Now you're on this hydration trip, right? You missed your opportunity to stay hydrated before the game, or you just took on too much. There's just too much sweat. So you lost a lot of your hydration. So now the question is, can we hydrate up quickly? Can we get the rest? Do we have the awareness to bring in the watery fruits and vegetables for a period of time so that we can restore our bodies and let go of whatever it is that's blocking the healing process?
Okay, so for example, let's just say Joe or Josephine gets injured in a game, and they're brought to the sideline of that. Let's just say maybe basketball. You're a former basketball player, okay? So let's just say something bad happens on the court. Maybe they get the wind knocked out of them, but also they turn their ankle. I don't know, something bad happened. Talk to me about the immediate application of the Comfrey product. What is the process that one has to go through right away for this healing to begin immediately?
So in the case of the Comfrey salve that you just showed, it's literally 2 fingers dipped in, and it's a massage on, and you're applying intentional bone medicine, and that's infusing, like I said, calcium, potassium, phosphorus for immediate relief. You'll sense the calm breath come in, and that calm breath is so healing. It's so critical to the process. It'll save you months in terms of restoration and time to heal. And who knows, they call it knit bone for a reason, because it literally knits your bones. And what's knitting your bones? Well, first of all, it's the ability to circulate. What creates the ability to circulate is the calm breath. If you're sitting here in a panic, right, there's no calm breath, there's no circulation. If you give a nice deep breath, and these pro athletes are they're waiting for that calm breath. They're pure electricity. So if you bring in vitality like the comfrey plant or the noni or the turmeric, but again, those medicines have to be high vitality, consciously grown, intentionally curated, and then brought to you fresh.
So Doug, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Doug, are you you're saying apply this product? Everybody on TV can see I'm holding up the Comfrey Salve. Everybody on the radio, there's a product called the Comfrey Salve by Kauai Pharmacy. Check them out at kauaipharmacy.com. Are you saying apply that right to the injured spot?
Yes. So again, a comfrey cast, this is just pure root. This would be for something that's a little bit more of an acute injury, like if it was a break or a crack or a sprain, I'd go pure comfrey root. But the salve is also brilliant. And again, lubrication, right? What we want is just consistent lubrication. You don't wait for your bike chain to get all dried, fall off, and you're stuck, and you don't have any oil, and then you got to put the bike chain back on and oil it, grease it back up. What you want to do is just consistently lubricate the body so that it's nice and supple, and it can show up and be graceful and with ease.
All right, that's good stuff. When we come back, we've got another segment here. We're going to learn a lot more about Kauai Pharmacy. Check them out at kauaipharmacy.com. Folks, make sure you go there. I give you a phone number, but just go there. You've got a few minutes while we're on break. Go ahead, check out kauaipharmacy.com. We're going to continue with Doug Wolcott, co-founder of Kauai Pharmacy, and some really good products for you, for all you athletes, professional athletes, weekend warriors, whatever. Soccer dads, soccer moms, soccer everything. Back in a minute.
Can't be fun at the old ballpark, friends. High pop fly. That would be a home run in a phone booth. I don't know what the big deal about Cracker Jack is. Did you ever go and buy a pack of Cracker Jack thinking you're going to get a prize and find no prize in the box? Here's the pitch. That might not sound important to some people, but when you're a little kid, especially from humble origin, and they cheat you out of a prize, there's a bouncing ball. Second baseman has the Barbary over to first. It's hard to think in laudatory terms of the product.
I think if there was an occasional box of Cracker Jacks that found no prizes for the little Harry Carey many years ago.
You got that right. And boy, when a box of Cracker Jack to me meant a lot of money. Here's a pitch, bounce foul. That's the most asinine marketing I've ever heard of. 1 ball, 1 strike. These guys say, well, you sing about Cracker Jack. I said that I only sing it because it's in the song. Here's a pitch foul back. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised, even to this day, some youngsters who buy a box of Cracker Jack don't find a prize in the box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Well, if you're going to talk about our congressman being crooked, here's a pitch foul out of play. Why not talk about commercial products that don't do what they represent to do?
There's a smash to Squires. He's got it. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. We're going to the bottom of the 7th now to score. All tied up. Milwaukee 4, the White Sox 4. Hey! Everybody! All right, Nancy, let me hear you. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back for its root. Root for the White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's right.
Hello, Jack McDowell here, Black Jack McDowell, and you're watching the Sports Circus, which is totally cool. So you have a great time watching. Have some fun.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. Folks, make sure to check out thesportscircus.com for our upcoming guest, our prior guest, our recorded shows, which are podcasts available on all podcast platforms, whether it's iHeart or Apple or Google or Amazon or Spotify, whatever. Pandora, we're there. No matter what, you find it, guaranteed, you can find us there. Also, make sure you check out the partners page at thesportscircus.com. Lots of great partners. One of those that's been with us since the very beginning, way back, I don't know, a couple thousand episodes ago. That's the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check them out at csncoyotes.com for upcoming games and events. That's csncoyotes.com for the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. How about that? Round of applause? It's kind of like the Kung Fu applause. You know, when you watch a Kung Fu movie and you see the words, or better yet, you hear the words, but their mouth doesn't move, and then maybe a little bit afterwards you see the mouth move. So that was the Kung Fu applause. I don't know, if you know what I mean. I don't know. All right, folks, we are back here with Doug Walcon, co-founder of Kauai Pharmacy with an F. Kauai Pharmacy. Check them out at kauaipharmacy.com. We're talking about the comfrey salve and the comfrey products in the last segment. For all you athletes out there, whether professional or amateur, we have some other items that I want Doug to talk a little bit about. Some of these, I'm going to hold them up for everybody to see on television and streaming. Everybody else, you're going to hear about. The first one is a curry blend. A curry blend. Tell everybody about the curry blend, Doug.
So the curry blend is a powder. And it's a culinary powder that we have been crafting for 8 years now. The base of it is curry leaf, which is a staple in Indian and Indonesia, as well as Thailand. We have maybe 10 curry trees on the farm. So that's where the blend is designed around the curry. But it's almost 50% ginger turmeric root. So that ginger is going to be big for metabolism. Ginger should be in the diet every day for sure, as well as turmeric, or in Hawaiian called olena. So those three herbs are 90% of that blend as far as quantity and weight goes. So we're looking at staples in your diet to help with inflammation, help with circulation, help with digestion. You've pretty much, if you can sprinkle some of that curry on your food, regardless of what the food is. So everything from avocado to salad to meat to fish, to rice, if you can just sprinkle to flavor. So it could be just a little bit, or it could be spice it up big, and it tastes delicious. But again, you can just put it on a little bit. It's going to really drive your metabolism process, your ability to reduce inflammation, and it's going to allow you to do it with ease and grace. So it tastes delicious, and it brings the awareness. So you talked about the mind before, because when it comes to digestion and it comes to mental awareness, these are things that we want to cultivate within. This isn't something that we want to be like, oh, if I take this product, then I'm good. No, we want to cultivate this within, so that we know what we can digest. We look at a piece of food or something that we're going to choose to do with our time and energy, and we know if it's going to serve us or not. That's what these medicines are doing. So this curry powder is a foundation for health and wellness, and it's going to bring in an alkaline diet. That alkaline diet is like spring water, right? That's what we're trying to mimic. We're low. We're like almost 70. We're 72% ish water. right? So we want to mimic spring water as far as our body, as far as our pH goes. So we don't want to be too much earth. We don't want to be too much fire. We don't want to be too much air. We want to be 72% spring water, and we want to be clean water. We want to be, beautiful water that calls in beautiful birds. And that's where our vitality is going to come from.
Now, you mentioned turmeric. All right, so there's the turmeric right there. Now, you sent over this spray. Talk to everybody about the spray. Everybody on radio, I'm holding up a turmeric hydrosol, all right, by Kauai Pharmacy. Check them out at kauaipharmacy.com. What is the turmeric hydrosol?
So this is a steam distillation. We steam it and then we put it through ice. And it's really the spirit water of the plant. So it's got the essential oil in it. And right before I came on the show, I did a little, sprayed my hair, I sprayed my face, just a little wake me up. And it just, how do you reduce inflammation? Well, you create circulation. That's how you reduce inflammation. Once the body has the circulation and all the cells are activated, it's only going to energize life-enhancing cells. It's not going to keep the dead stuff around. It's not going to keep the toxic stuff around. It's going to cleanse or detox anything that's not serving you. So the turmeric, renowned for its anti-inflammatory, but also renowned for its immune-boosting characteristics. So again, any kind of injury, but even before you get on the field, you can spray it down. I mean, it's good for acne. It cleans the face, the skin. In India, they wear it as a second skin for protection. So it's going to help with emotional immunity. So like tennis players that are all mental, right? It's going to help their emotional immunity.
How often do you spray?
I mean, for me, I like to think that I'm one with the plants now. I've sprayed a lot. So I've gotten my level up to the point where, I don't need or quite require as much. So for people that are looking to boost, these are superpowers. These medicines of black pepper. Here's the black pepper and the moringa, which is the protein powder, and the turmeric, like you mentioned. These are superpowers. How do we access the superpowers? Well, they take integration, right? We can't just burn ourselves and then think we're going to spray something on ourselves and we're all good. No, it takes awareness. It takes responsibility, right? The ability to respond. So as we're using these medicines, what are we doing? We're increasing our hydration, right? We're accessing epic spring water. We're doing our breath work practice, right? And we're stretching. We're doing our flexibility practice. All those things are going to allow us to call in more and more of these superpowers.
Right. It's not like you have one healthy meal, now you're eating healthy. No. You're on the road to start eating healthy. In the same way, if you're an athlete, whether you're a professional or amateur athlete, just because you went out and played basketball one day, you played a little street ball with the kids, whatever, maybe threes, or maybe you ran full court fives, end of day, doesn't mean you're a basketball player. Just means that you played once. Just like anything else, you have to condition your body. Talk to me about the endurance product.
Yeah, so, a great subject here, endurance and longevity, right? This is where I would love to see sports have more take more responsibility for their athletes, even in young age, like high school, middle school. Like teach our kids how to curate longevity in their system, so that when they come out of the NFL in their 40s, their knees are lubricated and still springy. Because what we need to do is we want to cultivate longevity, or we want to be present with our health and wellness in the context of longevity, so that when we're in our 80s, we're still living full intensity, right? We're still able to play with our grandchildren at a high level, in NFL linebacker-like, intensity, right? We don't want to be an NFL Pro Bowler and then be kind of barely making it as a grandfather.
Right.
We want to show up full intensity in our grandpa years.
Right. That's really important. Now, we got to rush through these a little bit here because we only have a few minutes left. I want to talk briefly about something that I use right here, which is the lemon. All right, let's see if we can get this in focus here for everybody watching. There it is, the lemon balm. This is an eyedropper form right there. Tell everybody about this in 30 seconds.
So I'm going to go back just quickly on the endurance. Ashwagandha is known as the life force. That's in that endurance powder. It's the ginseng of herbal medicine. I'll move on now to the lemon balm. The lemon balm is a quintessential herb in Western medicine for calming anxiety. That calming is one of, I view, strong spine, calm breath, clear mind. Those are the three essentials to show up in your full power. And if you don't have, those are, again, calm breath, clear mind, strong spine. The lemon balm will help facilitate those aspects of our awareness. So everything is in place, and then we can take full responsibility for how we show up. That lemon balm, you just put it, it's just a tincture, you put it in your mouth, and again, the first thing you do is use that nose to take that calm breath, fill the spine up, open up your chest, and clear your mind.
Okay, couple more minutes here, so let's talk really quick about the Tulsi hydrosol.
So Tulsi, we are in a lot of ways, we're almost like a Tulsi farm. We have it was the first plant that we put on our 4 acres that we grew here. It's the Indian elixir of life. So over like almost 1 billion people on the planet of Hinduism, this plant is sacred in their practice. So they put it outside their homes. They use it to ward off cobras and other animals or insects or fungus, or it's antifungal, antibacterial, antiseptic. And so we spray that Tulsi on our face and our mouth. It can be used as an asthma because it's known to calm the breath, clear the respiratory, as well as calm the digestion. So when you think about how to heal yourself, first think calm. Once you can facilitate the calming the calming being, then you can act in your consciousness and call in what's best for you.
All right, take 10 seconds, talk about these quickly.
So the teas, vitality and wellness, they're the base, ginger, turmeric, lemongrass, Tulsi, those 4 herbs, renowned thousands and thousands of years across the planet for circulation, anti-inflammatories, and digestion. Basics, iced tea in the fridge. That's all you got to do, people. Iced tea in the fridge, maybe a hot tea at night, 1 to 2 cups a day, and guaranteed you will start making massive strides and you will stay on the wellness path.
Okay, that is a lot of information, folks. In case you missed any part of this, go back to pick your favorite podcast platform and listen and listen and listen. Everybody on YouTube, actually, we did a live for YouTube specifically here and for Facebook just for our friends and family. Go back and re-watch this. Otherwise, you'll have to wait for the television broadcast to come out, but you can listen to it for sure. And of course, Doug Walcon from Kauai Pharmacy, co-founder, thanks for joining us once again. Check him out at kawaipharmacy.com. And folks, we'll see you in about 23 hours right here on your favorite station. So until then, so long, everyone.
That's the sound of sizzling, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks from UpperCutChops.com. Their best-in-class filet mignons, New York steaks, and the king of all steaks, the tomahawk and cowboy cut ribeyes are the best in the business. Even their Prime Wagyu burgers will likely be the best you've ever had. Browse the full selection of steaks and chops at UpperCutChops.com from the comfort of your home or on your mobile device. UpperCutChops.com delivers all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops directly to your door, without the hassle of going to the grocery store and fight crowds to pick from a small selection of average at best meats with injected steroids, fillers, and coloring added to look good. Find out what's for dinner at UpperCutChops.com or call 702-799-9935. That's 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. Or make your selection directly at UpperCutChops.com.